been a long time coming for that. So glad we finally got someone in the hands of that. And in terms of other prizes, these teams, they're in it, and it's the final stretch to get to the prizes for the whole tournament. $350 divided between the players for the winning team, and a $10 Valorant gift card for each of the players on the runner-up. And got a best of 3 series coming up into this one. And you just saw Team UwU Nyan Nyan FTC. I keep after looking down to read the name because it's so long. I'm going to remember it eventually. But what was your thoughts on them coming into this one? And I guess who would you edge out in front from these two teams?
I think this is going to be a very hard matchup for everybody. We do know that, coming into this, just on paper, straight off the bat, Ethereal does have a higher team average rank. Mm-hmm. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win. They do still have to have the strategy. It just means that they have a little bit more mechanical skills. So I think definitely UwU has a chance here to come in and maybe do an upset, take this over. They're coming in with an average team rank of Platinum, whereas Team Ethereal has an average team rank of, I believe it was Immortal. Mm-hmm. So quite a discrepancy there. However, I'm excited to see. We've watched Team UwU. We've watched all of these girls kind of coming up. They've played in a lot of our events before. I think there's quite a few players there that we can watch in that last semifinal that we had. Saj and I saw a lot of really good strategies and changing up of strategies coming out of this team.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for this matchup. I think definitely, as I was talking with Saj before, Freya's one to watch. She knows those Sova lineups really well. She has some really interesting ones. She uses her Hunter's Fury very well to both on the defensive side and on the attacker side. So I think we have a good finals coming up for us. But yeah, I know you watched Team Ethereal, so is there anybody on that side that we should, be keeping an eye on here?
Watching out, I think Flowerful really surprised me. She's normally sitting on the Reyna for them, and she had so much impact getting those entries, pulling in those picks, and Team Ethereal, they got a 2-0 in the semifinal, but it wasn't a clean-cut 2-0. I think it was a really hard-fought game. If I remember correctly, it was 11-13 that they won out on Ascent. So they're not flawless here. They're not in a place where they're just going to stomp over Team Nyan Nyan FTC. UwU Nyan Nyan FTC. We'll get it eventually. But so I think that they're still going to be the favorite. And I think that I would have to predict them. If I had to wager out a prediction right now, I would probably say, depending on how the map choices comes out, we don't know the map bans quite yet, but not knowing the maps, I'd probably have to put it for 2-0 for Team Ethereal, but I don't think that that's confirmed in any way. And I think Team Nyan could definitely surprise us here.
Yeah, I'm not making a prediction. So far, I've had really bad luck making predictions and jinxing teams, so we're not going to go there.
Last game, and there was no jinx in that, so I have a little bit of faith in my predictions. But I don't really care who wins here. I just want another great game of Valorant. Let's check out the map.
It does look like we do have the map picks finally here. We're going to see Bind as map 1, everybody's favorite. Hashtag no more Bind. Map 2 is going to be Ascent, and if we happen to get to our map 3, is going to be Haven. So kind of a typical pick for the teams throughout this tournament. Bind and Ascent are both favorite maps for all of the teams here. We're going to be seeing UwU on defense first. We saw a really strong defense from them in actually just that last game that we watched. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do against Ethereal and how Ethereal's attack is going to kind of match up against the strong defense that UwU is going to put out.
Yeah, and I think, again, with UwU, we saw them in that last game where they really were favored on that defensive side, but it's still, I think that Team Ethereal, they have a really strong attack. They tend to go very, very aggressive on these attacking rounds, just kind of sending in, oftentimes it will be the Reyna, Flowerful, who I pointed out, going up for entries, and they tend to play a wide default, but it's very explosive, very quick once they commit into a site, and it's really devastating if the defenders aren't ready for it. So it's probably going to have to be some playing retake for Team UwU and Nyan Nyan, some of that, which can sometimes be a struggle on Bind. So we're going to have to see if that strong defense can hold up against a team who might have a little more firepower from who they were facing in the semis.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious here, because we do know UwU in that last match had really good retakes. And on Bind, they were very strong, very much able to push the other team kind of off the site or slow them down before they really got onto site. I think it's going to come down to who shows the most aggression here. Or not even the most aggression. Who shows the most willingness to swap strategies quickly. And probably is going to rely a lot on the IGLs here, a lot on teamwork and communications. We have Ethereal coming in. They did have a break there while UwU had to play to get into their spot for this finals. So there might be a little bit of some mental fatigue coming out on the side of UwU. Hopefully that kind of 10-minute break and the extra minutes here getting the teams ready has helped them kind of relax, get back into the mindset of like, we've got to come out strong, we've got to come out for the kill in order to take home this win.
Yeah, and I think there's a point to be made too, not just about like there being fatigue from the last game, but also some momentum. They had a bit of it was close in the start, but I think they really pulled ahead at the end. And if I'm remembering the scoreline, it was 13-7. So they had a pretty dominant game on Bind where they managed to kind of pull through, string some rounds together. And while there was that break to kind of break it up a little bit, I think there might be some momentum and they're kind of in the flow, whereas it's been an hour break or probably an hour and a half more so now for Team Ethereal coming into this one. But looks like we're into the server now, and the first thing I'm noticing is we've seen it before, but Zosie's Viper.
Yes, I forgot that she comes in and plays Viper. Oh wait, you lied to me. She did not choose Viper.
She didn't lie, but she was covering it. And we've seen them play Viper before, and the strat actually worked quite well for them. So I'm wondering if they're going to pick into that again. And I think it could be a good opportunity for kind of something that they're not quite as used to playing against if your team UwU Nyan Nyan FTC.
Yeah, I mean, even now she's hovering, trying to decide between Viper and Sky. Either of those agents we didn't see at all in the last one, so I think it's going to be something new that Team UwU is going to have to kind of come out and deal with, how to adjust their strategy for these new abilities coming out onto the field. Oh, and we lied. She went with Breach.
Okay, I actually like that a lot more. I feel like a shocking number of teams have not played Breach thus far in this tournament. I don't even think there's been a game I've casted with a Breach, but I think that Breach, especially on this map, is such an impactful character. His ability to clear out large swaths of territory. I think like those highly contested kind of pivotal positions like showers on A site as well as U-Haul there can really get cleared out with the breach charge and his flashes in combination. And when you're working together with a breach, which I think both these teams have really excellent team play, could be really powerful.
Yeah, and sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to figure out how to say one of the names there. Ponda Bay. I was going to call her Panda, and then I realized that I was wrong.
Yeah, I called her Panda Bear at the beginning, but I think it's Ponda Bay. That's what we're going to go with at least.
Yes, which is honestly like a really cute name. But anyways, besides the point, we're seeing both teams kind of come out. They only have the one Sentinel here. I feel like that's the typical strategy for a lot of teams, is to go with one Sentinel to hold down a site, and then you stack 3. Maybe even 4 on the other site is what UwU appears to be doing right now.
Yeah.
You see 4 over on the A site. They're all going to go into showers there. I imagine what they're going to do is they're going to come out of showers and kind of sweep across the map, trying to take as much map control as possible early on in this round.
Yeah, and it's this showers play that we see a lot. 3 pushing here early and are going to meet contact with the Reyna. She's quickly dropped by Curse, and the opening blood of the final is drawn. The remaining attackers start to move their way towards B, and like you mentioned, there was 4 towards the showers position, so it's just Killjoy there, playing quite passive LNQ is to hold the line.
Yeah, and that's fine, because Killjoy's stuff can slow the attackers down enough until the other team gets over.
Yeah. And now the plant is going to start to be deployed here, but all defenders are quickly there to retake. Freya takes the first blood, but Panda and Rush trade it back into a 3-on-3. Vernina's in with 1 onto Rush, drops her, but suddenly it's all onto the breach. Zosie has 1, but they're just sticking to Fuse. There's nothing she can do, and it's a 1-on-1, but the stick is through and Vernina takes it. She dies, but it's still a round opened up for Team UwU Nyan Nyan.
Yeah, that was a really good round for them. Sticking that spike was the optimal choice there, especially knowing that they're coming in against a team that can't match mechanical skill with according to their ranks. Of course, everybody's ranks kind of are fluid and shift a little bit. But if you're coming in under the assumption that your mechanical skills might be a little bit lower, doing something like sticking it and just trying to stall getting killed as much as possible is a really good strategy there.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I mean, we saw Zosie. She had 3 kills, and even though they double peaked her, she was still just hitting shots upon shots. So, I mean, just not challenging her was absolutely the right play there. It's a forced buy for the defenders and just a small investment for Team Ethereal.
It looks like everybody's kind of going to go a little bit slow here, trying to suss out what the other team's strategy is going to be.
And this is a round to just play slow. Be careful of plays like K-Sweet here with the judge. She gets 1, but is stunned and taken by Emily. She's traded out, and now the spike is loose in Kuka. Good positioning for it, and it's a quick spray down by LNQ for 2. She reloads, but Breach is right in front of her. That's an awkward fight. Of Renina helps out. 3 left alive. 2nd round in a row for Team UwU Nyan Nyan.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about before. They had some momentum coming out of that semifinal game, coming into this, especially because in the semifinal, they had begun. Sorry, yes, they begun on defense, went to attack, and now they're back on defense. So I feel like this is really good momentum for them. They know this map. They're warmed up. They have their strategies for both the attack and the defense. And they're coming out strong here. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, and I think that this pick is, I don't remember who picked into this one, but it's such a good map for practically any team. Everyone's going to be ready for it. K-Sweet stuck with the judge on the bonus, and a bit misguided pushing into the smoke. His opponent takes the opener.
I got this fight.
Raze already has that showstopper up and running, but you could say the same for the Breach there. I think that Rolling Thunder on site takes, especially if they're using it to say take on to B or something, is going to be really powerful to clear out when it's such close quarters. Almost up and close, and Flowerful should have spotted that barrel out. Could be a possibility of a second, but she's not going to greed for it. Attackers are now starting the execute onto site. Omen's position is known, but will they suspect the double setup in Showers? Pushing through, and the spike at least tapped, not to be deployed just yet. As that goes down, the advantage would lie with Team Ethereal, but Nyan Nyan, they still have good positioning. Less so now that Flowerful takes Cursed, and the showstopper aforementioned is up to no effect. Panda Bear in with another. And with just 2 left alive, and they're boxed in this corner, there shouldn't be too much they can do. I already did it. I already called Panda Bear Panda Bear. And I'm correcting you on it. Dang.
It's very close.
It really is. Now left on to just Freya, and she's just looking for the possibility of an exit frag. Not even going to be given that. Rush takes her, and it's a first round for Team Ethereal.
Yeah, so that's the normal kind of adjustment that we see coming into round 3, where where a lot of the teams, it's the first round that they can buy rifles if they've lost the first 2 rounds, and to come in with those rifles, it definitely changes the game, because once everybody has kind of equal guns, it starts being a lot more about like, where's your crosshair placement? Like sometimes your pings affects it. The physics of like, are you peeking a corner from close to the wall or away from the wall? That kind of thing really kind of comes into more play starting from round 3 forward.
And I think an interesting thing to point out, at least into this round, is that Team UwU Nyan Nyan, they're still opting for this 4 towards A setup. Phoenix is already playing the swing, and she'll rotate to help out. K-Sweet was such an impact player in that semifinal game that we watched, and a lot of games that we've seen her in other Galorants events and earlier in this tournament. So I want to see how much we're going to get her online, because I think that's going to be something important for them. Now it's the Killjoy lockdown to entry onto site. This should allow a bomb plant. LNQ is the first to die on site. She falls for her troubles. Ooh, nice little pick with the Bucky. K-Sweet jumps into Flowers and just narrowly lives to tell the tale. Curse is waiting, and that's a possible gun to be recovered. Killjoy's holding the line, and with, I think, just 1 HP, lives through it. The Bucky peeks and takes her. Still 3 versus 3. Phoenix does have that ultimate, and she's going to elect to use it as Freya gets one onto Zozy. The last two attackers are positioned in good post-plant areas, but now it's all onto one. Emily, she has to go big, but she can't. Vernina takes the head right off, and that was a good one to bounce back on with the buy available for Team UwU.
Thrifty.
Yeah, that was a wonderful thrifty round for them. That Bucky kill was wonderful. Nobody expects the jumping, flying Bucky. But being able to kind of grab a couple of guns there is definitely going to help UwU's economy going forward. We can see on the scoreboard that I think they saved 3 guns there, which is really nice to see. They don't have to buy. That's going to give them a little bit of leeway in case they lose this round to still be able to buy next round as well. Mm-hmm. And on the opposite side, we do see that at least one of the players from Ethereal has to go down to just the Sheriff, which as K-Sweet showed us last game, doesn't mean that you don't have a gun.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to catch that one. A quick little 3K from her. It's a trade at B-Long, but the B-Long control, I think that's such a power position on this map. With the teleporter, if you have B-Long control, you can pressure B site while also having a quick rotation should your teammates on A get a pick. So I think that that's one of the real power positions on this map to hold on to. And of course, we see them going for that control almost instantly. Raze is the only one on this B site, but they haven't elected to take it just yet. Freya through the teleporter gets information on Killjoy's position, but still, it's just this default, playing slow and waiting.
Yeah, it looks like the spike might actually be going over towards A. Flowerful's still going to just chill here, trying to keep some of the defenders from rotating over.
Off your feet!
And there it is. The aforementioned Rolling Thunder is going to work to clear out lamps. Freya's pushed back from the line, but has a dart to help her team out. Curse trying to hold on, and they're playing passive as they wait for their team. Good dart from her to reveal all 3, and Curse peeks into Rush. Taken. Spike carrier is actually killed as it's 3 in for K-Sweet before she herself dies. 2 versus 2 with very little time. They're going to have to get this down soon, but down low are both the defenders. Raze is actually on this rotation, and if she kills the Spike carrier, this could win them the round. This rotation might have been too quick. Vernina, if she kills this Spike carrier, she wins the round, and she's done it. A misguided push, too late, and they win it out.
Oh, good round, Team UwU. That was, as you were saying, a lot of this is you have to watch the clock. I was very hesitant when the breach went through the teleporter there because that was not giving her any time. If anybody had been staying on site and like made her pause in hookah at all, or what we just saw when she starts planting without clearing the site, she was taken out easily and just kind of gave that round to Team UwU there.
Cover going out.
Yeah.
So we have an actual half buy from Ethereal coming out here. So going to have to see how the strategy changes when they don't have the guns to kind of outshoot the rifles on the other side.
I was about to bring up that time was an issue for Team Ethereal in their earlier matches. There was a couple rounds where they let the clock run down real low, like we just saw there, and ended up losing a round that they really shouldn't have as a result. So that's kind of a challenging thing going forward, but look at this push. 3 of the defenders are already up on the flank, and now this is a confirmed A play. Pushing on to site now quickly. Freya almost dead to the mollies, but she survives to tell her tale. Emily is going to be able to deploy the spike, but actually the Hunter's Fury could shut this down. She sticks it through as her teammate gets a pick onto Cursed. Killjoy lockdown is available into this retake, but on the other side of things, that showstopper to stop any would-be diffuser. Time starts to tick, and the pressure is on for the defenders. Vernina on this push has a great timing to catch Rush from her teleport, but peeks right into Flowerful. She dies for it. It's a 3 versus 3 as the Killjoy lockdown is deployed, but Pona Bear pushes in, takes LNQ. Freya's just trying to defend this, but she can't hold the line. She's dead. K-Sweet, she's going to be called upon in the 1v2, goes for the run it back. Now she's just going to get pushed and drop. Pona Bear takes it, and it's a second for the attack.
It's unfortunate to see when Phoenixes use their run it back and aren't aware when they use it which direction they're facing. Because right there, K-Sweet popped it while facing a corner. So when she came out of it, she had no idea that she was about to get... I mean, she probably did because she got killed pretty immediately after going into U-Haul. There's a good chance somebody was going to come out and get her as she was popping her collar and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Good round for the attackers on Team Ethereal. And I think that Team UwU Nyan Nyan, they had a good push there, and they had good positioning. I think they just waited a little too long. That meant their teammates on site were already dead. And while they had the pressure from behind, that was the only real pressure they had. So the crunch that they wanted to have couldn't really happen there. And unfortunately, that's also 2 ultimates used with no real effect into a round.
Yeah, what we were talking about last round, you have to be aware of the clock, and they use those ultimates so late in the countdown for the spike that even if it had won and they had gotten all the kills, I'm not sure they would have had time to still go and defuse the spike.
Yeah. Already, trades back and forth, and K-Sweet recovers a gun upgrade from her judge, and still the push is being attempted onto the B site. Freya catches Ponda as she tries to fall out, and now she's getting pushed. Freya actually takes this kill as well, left onto Flowerful to her own devices. A 1 versus 4, and a 5th looks likely. Good double peek to clean it up, and this round again felt like just good aggression from Team UwU Nyan Nyan, and I think that's what they wanted to do on that last round.
What we saw there was a lot of the good teamwork that we were seeing coming out of UwU in the semifinal match. It's really nice to see them do that again, where they have multiple people peeking the same time. There's the communication of, hey, don't peek, let me get in position. It's in order to take out an opponent and not allow those 1v1s, which could allow an opponent in a 1v3 situation to take out people individually and actually win the round.
Yeah, and I have to give a lot of credit to K-Sweet because she's both calling and putting up great numbers in the server. Not this round though, Taken. And this frequent shower play that we've seen a lot from this team and from others throughout the tournament is not going to work out well this time. 2 dead early. And now the remaining defenders are stuck in the back of A site. Killjoy is going to be called to rotate, but look at the ultimates available for the attack. 4 up and running for them. Only a lockdown that they could ever want. They're still electing to play this smart, play this slow. They know that they have, at least in small part, the weapons disadvantage. So they're playing this safe. Emily just waiting for a peek. But the defenders also, they know they don't have to take fights here. Now it is going to be an execution. Nice shot from LNQ, and Freya chimes in as well. It's back into a 3-on-3. Equalized by the headshots. Another Rolling Thunder pushing in. There's actually going to be a showstopper from the defense. Fernina's trying to counter this, but Emily takes out 1. The showstopper takes Zosi. I don't know what Rush is doing there. Turns around. Emily with the classic is left alone, and now she's taken. LNQ closes a very close round. And it's 6-2 for Team UwU Nyan
Nyan. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to call them Team. It is. I don't know why these teams like giving me tongue twisters.
I think nice. As the game goes on, I'm just going to eliminate more parts of their name. At this point, FTC's gone. Next one, the Nyans is gone. It's all going downhill from here.
Team UwU.
Just Team UwU.
This is a really nice defensive half coming out of them, though. They've already got 6, which means they've already got half of the rounds for this half. They really would like and need to pick up a couple of more before they go on the attack here. I don't know how Ethereal's defense is going to be.
This round, though, isn't looking great. It's a quick, explosive push with 2 kills. And this time we're not seeing them hesitate, not seeing them stall out the timer. They instantly have the spike plant down. And now they're postured for a great post plant. 5 versus 3, no flanking is an option for Team UwU. As the remaining defenders push in. Good angle from Zosi to find the head of Vernina. Oh, another judge play. She actually gets them both. What's with the jumping shotguns? LNQ another, but it's left to her. She's in the 1v2. The Killjoy Swarm Grenade will keep her off the bomb, and she's getting jiggled. Classic down, and she has to get this kill, but out of ammo on practically everything. Pone de Bear chimes in to help Zosi out, and they close it out. 3-6.
Had to go to that sheriff trying to get the... She didn't have time to reload. She was completely right there.
You could almost feel the panic.
K-Sweet with those jumping shotgun shots. She had the Bucky earlier. We're seeing her out with the judge here. Nobody expects I feel like she wishes she played Jet so she could be the flying shotgunner. But she's doing pretty well with the jumps on Phoenix. I feel like I had a point at the beginning of that round I wanted to bring up, and I've forgotten it because of the jumping shotguns.
Jumping shotguns is the real point. Oh no, she has a shotgun again. She's just buying the judge every round. And look at this angle from her. She could definitely get at least one here. Omen's actually sitting there with her as well.
Yeah, that's actually a really good play because they'll probably see the Omen first and not expect K-Sweet to also be there.
Look how they're set up. She has the hot hands primed and ready. So as soon as Omen takes contact of that alarm bot, she's just going to throw that, help out her teammate, and be able to push. Their damage will also be doubled from this alarm. So this is fantastic positioning if they do elect to push this. Teleport will come out from at least one. The Curse takes that player down, and now this double setup is doing well. Panda takes him at both out, but she's gone as well. 3 versus 1. It's just Omen. She has the From the Shadows, though, so this could be a rotation. And it looks like Freya already has that idea. She's sitting out on the flank, and it's going to be a gaming of timing here. Rush takes 1 into the 1-on-2. Killjoy is down low, so she has a chance. Freya's flank is going to get the better of her, as she now has to come back around, but she's going to be on the backside. And Rush is going to have to be pinched in here. Killjoy lockdown is an option for Team UwU. That's just Omen plays. Now she's going back to B. She could even cancel this, but she's going to elect to stick it. 32 HP and 2 kills to find. Spike will deploy. She knows one is teleporter, and she at least suspects the second CT. She has these gunfights isolated into a 1-on-1, and it's up to Team UwU to ensure they can get this trade. Dart's going to ping her out, but she does hit the adjustment. No teleport available. She's stuck, and the shock dart lights her down low. Freya finishes. It's a close round, nearly a clutch for Rush, but Freya keeps it alive. It's 7-3 now for Team UwU Nyan Nyan.
I remember my point from last round. We saw with Team UwU here that they struggle sometimes when a team gets very aggressive, comes in, puts the plant down, and then is set up. They tend to struggle a little bit with those kinds of retakes. Whereas like if the plant goes down later on in the round, they seem to be more in the mental game of being able to do a retake. As we saw right there, the previous round, quick plant down retake didn't work all that well. This one, they were able to stall out the plant enough. I think we were down in the red on the timer before the plant went down, and they were able to do that retake and take it very easily.
Yeah, I think that's a recurring theme, and it works well for them. You see, Ethereal tends to be kind of slow with this. It's a quick push, though, and K-Sweet already has 2 picks for herself. Both the Hunter's Fury and the Showstopper have no kills to show, but Curse takes out Ponda, and it's a quick cleanup operation, as it's just the Breach left alive, and she is dropped as well. 8-3, and this is a really great half out from Team UwU Nyan Nyan already. And they're not slouched on their attacker side, so I can definitely see them picking this map up if they keep up the pace here.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Like, what's going to matter on this map is how well Ethereal can defend, and if UwU can get past that defense to get the last couple of rounds in order to win this map. But as you said, they're doing a great showing here. This is a wonderful defense from UwU, and I'm excited to see their attack because I know how strong they are on this map on the attack. And we're going to have to see if Ethereal can kind of like swap it up coming into the next half after this round in order to even out the score some more.
I mean, we saw them pull through a 7-5. They only had a 7-5 lead coming into their last half, and now they're looking primed to maybe even get a 9-3. It's a possibility. K-Sweet wants to shut this lockdown down, I guess, and she takes it. Though Vernina gets the opening pick, but on the other side of the map, it's the Breach ultimate pushing them onto site. Spike is down here. Vernina falls. She was not ready for the teleportation. It's a 4 versus 4. The defenders still have their lockdown available. Freya taken by Rush. She's actually going to teleport up to heaven. K-Sweet has the read, but she doesn't have the shot. Rush headshot to her. 4 versus 2 retake. Make that just 1. LNQ is gone. And it's all on the Omen. Kerr speaks out, is allowed 1 head. She knows the player is Heaven and is trying to isolate the duel, Omen on Omen. She might have an opportunity, but her opponent playing it safe, ensuring She's not allowed an opportunity into this one. This is exactly what you want to see in a post plant from both these teams. Showstopper for Emily. She's not even going to push, and she doesn't have to. Just the fear from this alone is going to stop any would-be advance from the Omen, and she runs straight into Rush. Taken, and that's an 8-4 half. Something that's definitely workable for either team.
Switching sides.
8-4 is kind of that ideal situation when you're the attacker, because I don't know why. I don't know why these are like the magic numbers, but 8-4 is like the magic number at the half for having a good game, or a really good game coming out in the second half. Seeing a lot more rounds than if it were like a 9-3 or even a 10-2 kind of situation. So I'm very curious to see how this changes up. It looks like UwU is going to be pretty aggressive here. They're all kind of lined up for B long, maybe to try to see if they could get a pick, at least get some rotations coming out before taking that teleporter over to A in order to actually do the plant and the execution.
Yeah, and I brought the idea up a couple times about how powerful this B long and octagon positioning can be. The flash is just going to force them all to spam into the air. And this is the power of breach, dissuading them from pushing. And if they do decide to commit this, it's given time for the defense to rotate over. However, it is going to be the teleport. Please do the around the world. I'm begging them to go through the other teleporter. We haven't seen it yet. I want to see it so badly. And it looks like
there was
they
one
might.
team yesterday that did it a little bit, but it was a very slow around the world.
Oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, they're doing. They've got to be doing it, right? They are. Now it's just Killjoy. Are they going to go B though, or are they going around again? It's a roundabout. The defenders giving chase. A boom buddy through, blinded out and pushed on to site. K-Sweet is in the hot seat. Neither team has confirmed a kill just yet. Pwned Bear's turret takes the first, and it's another for the defenders, but even by curse. 3 versus 3. Raze is up on the teleporter on the flank, and as soon as I start talking, they're all dead. That's the pistol going the way of Team UwU Nyan Nyan. And 9-4, this is a great start from their attacker half.
The mind games this team is playing. They very easily could have come into this match exhausted after that semifinals that they just had to play. But instead, I feel like they're more energized than ever before. They're coming in, they're doing these kind of like funky plays, the around the world that we really wanted to see all tournament. I'm so happy that it happened in the finals. This is wonderful.
Yeah, and I think that's big props to K-Sweet. She's calling for her team, and the calls have been great so far. They seem to be outbraining this defensive side, and it's, again, just a massively quick push. 2 kills go the way of Team UwU, and make that 3. 2 defenders left, and this should be their conversion. So see, she gets 1. Shouldn't be too much more on the plate for her. And now, looking at a 10-4 scoreline, I'm wondering if there's still a shot for Team UwU, or for Team Ethereal in this one. Because if they start converting here, they're going to build up rounds that are pretty hard to come back from, even with the firepower that Ethereal has available.
Yeah, but you have to remember, in the first half, this kind of almost happened. Oh, I mean, it did happen. One of the teams won the first 2 rounds, but then it really changed on the 3rd round that came in when people have the rifles in their hand and it becomes more about mechanical skill rather than strategy. As we were talking about before, UwU has great strategy. They're doing really well here, staying together and kind of overwhelming Ethereal. But now that Ethereal has rifles, I'm wondering if this is going to change up the dynamic a little bit.
But if they're playing these close angles, I think there's still a chance, and they're running in. Oh, do it again, do it again! They're through the teleporter, and they actually get a pick. Pwned Bear, she was not ready for that. And I think, actually, if they just stay B here, they have the mind control into this one, because the defenders, they can't commit to either side, because the teleportations could just keep coming out. Zosie's blind, but her teammate saves her, and Rush, 3 kills to her name, keeps the round going. It's a 5th, and that gap starts to tighten as Ethereal picks up the rifle.
Ethereal's going to have to feel good about that one. Picking up that round was really key for them. They really needed to do that in order to kind of break the momentum that we were seeing UwU take over there. However, they only have half the score of UwU. They need to keep up the energy and bring it back here in order to get a couple more rounds. They really they have 3 rounds that they can lose here before they lose the match. Well, 2, and then they'll lose the match.
Yeah.
And that's got to be weighing on their mind the whole time that they're playing the rest of this game, is we can't give up even really a single round here.
For sure, and that's a tough spot to be in for their team. Especially, I think they came into this one as the favorite, which I think puts even a little bit more pressure on their shoulders coming in as that.
Yeah, I think you chose them as your favorite. We all knew who I was choosing, even though I wasn't allowed to say it because I was going to jinx them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say they're favorite, but I think they're at least favored to win in this one. They do get the opening pick and site control for Team UwU Nyan Nyan, but look, Breach still has her ultimate. That Rolling Thunder could be the chance in the 3v5, but now it's only 2. LNQ takes Flowerful out from the heavens. And the remaining defenders will have to retake. I think that they should probably just play this one close. If they get a pick, go for it. But if they don't get a pick soon here with the lockdown in play, raise grenades still up, I don't think they have too much of a shot.
No, and Team UwU is set up very well here with a lot of crossfires, a lot of different angles that Ethereal will have to clear as they come onto site. It's not looking great for them.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be the save for Zosi. And now it's 11 for Team UwU Nyan Nyan.
Yeah, this is only the first game of this matchup, so it could just be that Ethereal is coming to terms with, like, hey, we might not get this one. This wasn't their map, or this was their map pick, which is a little bit weird that, at least in the games that I've been watching today, everybody who's chosen a map has lost that map. But they could very easily come back and take Ascent. I don't know how confident they are on Ascent or Haven. Obviously more than they are on Split or Icebox. But this doesn't mean the end of the line for them, even if they lose this game.
What's concerning for me, though, is because this was their map choice, in the previous semifinal that we saw with them, they did fantastic on this map. They pushed it. Ooh, Ponda. Good position. Oh, no, she fluffs it. Can't get the shot, and Vernina turns. That is so unfortunate. And that should have been the early advantage, turned into an early deficit. Only a bit of damage done. Defenders are going to have to just play the retake here.
That was unfortunate. She only had a stinger. You really can't do that much damage at that distance with the stinger. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're aiming down sights and it's in that... I was going to call it a scout rifle from Destiny, and that is not right.
Yeah. Another teleporter play. They're over on A, and Curse is up in heaven. If she peeks out at the right time, this is a crossfire. They're boxed in to the CT spawn. Now they know there's people on both sides. This is just so wild how spread out everyone is. But now it's a concentration. There's a defender on the flank. There's an attacker on the flank. But Rush, that is huge from her. 2 picks. This round started off bad, but now it's a 3 versus 2. Looking slightly better. They know Rush is still on the flank, so they have to be worried. They also know Flowerful 7. They are boxed in here. 20 seconds. They can still teleport. No defender there to set the bomb loose, but Curse is caught. It would have to be K-Sweet in a 1 versus 3 clutch. Rush is teleported onto Elbow. This is a great position. K-Sweet has to stick this, has to get the bomb down, and Rush, peeking in, knows the positioning. And that round from Rush, I think that really saved him there.
Yeah, that was really well done from the side of Team Ethereal. I think I was gonna say UwU really was playing the mind games there, using the Killjoy ultimate on B, forced all of Ethereal to start going over there. It was such a cool tactic. They used that to pull everybody to B site, then used the Omen ult to go over back to A. And it almost worked for them. And you could tell that Ethereal was really kind of like screwed up there because not everybody teleported away from B. They still had one on B who went in the back, got a pick, and made everybody turn around thinking maybe they're going to plant B and the Omen ult was a fake or something. It was just the mind game after mind game over there.
Yeah, and I think no matter how good your strategy is, at some point you need to get 5 kills. Flowerful has gotten the opening pick before Nina takes down Emily just randomly through the smoke. That's unlucky for her. Rolling Thunder is still in play for this breach. She's had it pocketed for a good few rounds, so that's going to be powerful into a retake. But the post plant for the attackers is great. They have both the Hunter's Fury, and we've seen what Freya can do on that Hunter's Fury. It's been really on point throughout the last couple series we've seen of her. And same too for that Raze Showstopper. Lots of stuff to do, and all they need is the spike plant at this point. 4 versus 4, and they're casting their net wide, looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to leave their Raze over on A site just to stop anybody from using that teleporter to get to B quickly. It's going to force the attackers to at least deal with her or go the long way around.
Killjoy is playing safe here, and I think they are going to play for the retake with this Rolling Thunder. The B site is the optimal place to use that. Raze is still over there holding as LNQ deploys the spike. Teleporter through, and now they know that all the defenders are going to be coming from spawn side. Ponda is still in a great position to possibly catch someone unassuming. Rush gets the first pick, and it's a showstopper to convert the second. Zosie's gone. That means no Rolling Thunder, but Rush is going big. She has 2, and now Ponda's pushing. Freya wins it out. She has the Hunter's Fury, which she's going to use. Spike Planner is off, and she actually converts the kill as well. It's going to have to be a 1v1, but no. Freya saves her teammate's life with the Hunter's Fury, and I was just bringing up how great she is with that ability, and it shows again.
Yeah, her ability to turn with that and be aware of the map before she uses all of the casts from it, because you get 3 arrows with that. She used 2, she got the kill off of the spike, but then she didn't just put it away or waste that third one. She knew that her teammate was fighting somebody. Her teammate probably communicated exactly where that person was, and Freya took the last shot to get that third kill for her that round. That was really well done. I love seeing her on the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Sovas don't use it, but when your teammate has someone in their vision, they pop up on the minimap, and you can direct your Hunter's Fury off that if you're being vigilant. Early aggressive push from Ponda and Rush take the first frag, but it's match point, and it would have to be them coming back into this in a big way. Flowerful keeps this well, but K-Sweet is only allowed 1. 2 versus 4 now. Look at the defender's positioning. They're pushed up, but they're actually being counter-flanked. If they elect to go for a flank here, they'll get squished. Not to be. Spike is still down towards the B side of things, but the 2 remaining attackers lean towards the A side. They know they need kills here. And with 50 seconds, they have a good opportunity.
They probably thought that those defenders were going to go towards Spike and find it. That was such a weird, long flank, though. Yeah, definitely wasted some time for them.
Yeah, I think that, like you brought up, I think it was attempted a counter flank, but the defenders know that they have the time on their side. They don't need to hold so aggressively. They just need to hold on to the 2 sites.
I have the spike.
Look at Killjoy. She's up in such a good position that they can't go B. That means that it has to be an A hit. She knows it at this point. She's going to start flanking. 2 versus 4. That Omen Smoke's going to buy him an extra 20 or so seconds. They have to push through it. They have to go right into Flowerful, and Flowerful, she's ready, gets one, actually dies to Curse. She cancels a bit too early. Zosie avenges her friend, and it's 7th. It's still a very uphill battle if they look to bring this back and take their map back.
They've got to be kind of celebrating that win, and at the same time, with having the stress of knowing that they can't lose another round. If they lose another round, they're going to lose this game. They really have to just kind of win out these next 5 to bring it to overtime, and then 7 if they want to win that overtime.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long and tiring match for both teams, and it's definitely going to have an effect on game 2, and even game 3 if we get there. Just the mental exhaustion from this.
Ooh, good aggressive push from Flowerful. And they keep going aggro, and it's working great. Vernina's Boom Buddy does take out Emily. Some Raze on Raze, actually, but finally that Rolling Thunder is coming into play. Blinded through, and Zosie has them all stunned. She pushes in, gets the first, make it 2. Peeking, and she gets a right-click dink. It's not going to convert the kill. Vernina now blinded from the paranoia, and Rush pushes it, takes it down a little. Shots at the body. Things are getting spicy in the server, and they want this comeback. They're ready for it.
Ethereal has definitely upped their aggression on the defense here, and it's catching UwU off guard. They're just not prepared for them to be so pushed up out of sight towards the attacker side. And it's happened 2 times in a row now, and I think that's probably enough for UwU to say like, hey, this isn't working. We need to be more aware of this. We need to maybe change up our strategy a little bit. We're seeing them do a kind of a split push here onto B. I'm kind of curious to see if this is going to help at all. Of course, this time it looks like Ethereal has changed it up once again, and they're no longer going to do that aggressive push. Maybe playing some mind games of their own now against Team UwU.
Yeah, I really like the aggression we were seeing from Ethereal because I think their fragment power is their strength, and playing to that is the way they win rounds. But they're going to have to do it again. K-Sweet running it back onto B site, and this is just a quick committal. No mind games here, just a clean cut take. That lockdown is going to be destroyed. No effect to come of it. It's going to have to be a retake for an opportunity to go up 1-0 in the series and take the map pick. Ponda has a good position. No one ever cleared elbow, and LNQ is punished for it. 4 versus 5. Spike loose on sight. Ponda blinded off her line and pushed back. Going aggressive now. K-Sweep looks to punish. She hears her fall back and actually spots it on the jiggle. Peeks in, only gonna get 1. Rush and Emily chime in now. 4 versus 2, but the post-plant position is alright. Freya's up close. She wallbangs 1 with the help of her dart, but she's getting routed. Zosie's behind her. Now she's wrapping back around. It's whoever's gonna see first, and Zosie, she finds the head and the second. Takes it 9 to 12, sorry, and only 3 rounds away from actually evening this to overtime.
We've got a comeback going on here. That was looking so good for Team UwU. And I think right now they're gonna have to actually do a save round, which is fine. They still have those 3 rounds to kind of play around with. Doing a save now to be able to buy for the last 2 is definitely the way to go here. We're seeing some SMGs, a Marshall even coming out against the rifles. But again, like we've been talking about it kind of all night, you need to play at this level and be able to adapt and switch your strategies as things work and then stop working. You have to be able to kind of like really shift around in order to counter whatever your opponents are doing.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing both teams doing this really well.
Yeah, but Ethereal, now they don't even have the opportunity to readjust should they get caught off guard by a new strategy. They have to be 1 step ahead of the game at all times for the next 3 rounds. They can't afford a single loss. It's another B-site retake, but they've been so good with these. The Rolling Thunder is already back up, and we've seen that to great effect on some of these retakes, specifically towards the A site, who will be called upon here as well. At this point, the time is the enemy. And Ponda's actually getting pushed back. The attackers, they're going aggressive. They're closing in on her. She's allowed the kill onto K-Sweet, but traded by Vernina. Zosie keeps them in control, and Flowerful's flank has good effect. Showstopper for the last and closed by Flowerful. 10 rounds. They're in the double digits. 2 away from bringing this to OT.
I think we're starting to see a little bit of fatigue from UwU. As we were saying that basically this whole time. And it is going to be a mental game, part of this. But they just lost 4 rounds in a row. They've got to be feeling that a little bit disheartened after not really dominating, but they would get 2 rounds for every 1 that Ethereal had earlier on in this match. So the morale is probably coming down a little bit. They really need to just bring it back up, bring that energy back up, and just get that last. They only need 1. They just need to get this last round before Ethereal can get to go into overtime.
Look at this triple showers push. Down just 2. They're pushing in. They get the first. K-Sweet's here to hold. They're in with a second. K-Sweet isn't even able to get 1. 3 kills, and this buy round is just falling apart. The spike is in possession of the defense, and they know the position of the last 2 attackers. This round has just gone so poorly so quickly because, again, it's this aggression. Team UwU, they were holding for it. They were ready for it, but they just couldn't win the gunfights. LNQ, they're going to commit onto site, but they don't have the spike. Why are they trying to push onto site? I feel like this is just a rough situation for them. All 4 of the defenders are just holding onto that position. And they know that there's only so many ways that these remaining attackers can come. They should be ready for this teleport. And they are, but LNQ gets the first pick. Vernina actually gets another with the rocket. This is more doable now, a 2 versus 2. Rain is behind them, though, and this flank could be everything. Breach, doing the right thing, playing safe. She knows she can use that Rolling Thunder, and Zosie just has to bait in for her teammate. Still, this push, Flowerful has a good position. with 20 seconds left, they're going to have to commit this. They're dashing on in. They get right into the crossfire. And now it has to be Zosie 1v1. She blinds the Killjoy,
Oh,
but
she
loses
got
it
it.
out. And LNQ actually manages to clutch it up. A 1 versus 2 for a 3K. And wow, Team UwU Nyan Nyan, they pick up Ethereal's map pick, and they're going up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, I will fully admit I was not expecting them to win that round. I thought it was over once Ethereal got those first 3 kills. They wasted the Killjoy ult on B side when they didn't even have the spike, which I think they realized afterwards their mistake. She was kind of knifing the ult herself. But I'm excited. That was a wonderful round from them, and I bet they're probably screaming in their chat right now about that win. That was great to see from them, and I think it's definitely going to give them a needed boost in some energy going into going into game 2 here. We're going to be going on to Ascent where they're going to have to attack first against the Ethereal defense. It's their map pick that might be giving them a little bit of extra confidence. We're going to have to see how it goes.
Yeah, and I predicted 2-0 Ethereal coming into this one, so I'm already wrong off the bat. But I think that Team UwU Nyan Nyan, they have a good chance on this one. Ascent, they picked into Ascent. This was Team UwU Nyan Nyan's this was Team Ethereal's that they lost out on. And now Team Ethereal, we saw them on Ascent before, and well, they won it. It was by narrow margins. They almost had a comeback up on them. Pretty much what we saw here, where it was so close to a team coming back, but then losing it in the last few rounds by very narrow margins. So we'll have to see. They're going to have to convert this one if they want to stay alive, if they want to take it to Haven and try and close that out.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a fight one way or the other between these two teams, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see. However, for now, I think we're going to go to a quick, probably a 5-minute break, just to let all of the players get some water, allow us to get some water, you guys to get some water. And hey, we know everybody in chat loves to try to drown us with those hydrate chains. We got to catch up a little bit. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes for game 2, which is going to be on Ascent.